Good evening, I'm Ava with WNBA Trending. Tonight's top story centers on Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark, whose highly anticipated return to the court remains uncertain as the team describes her recovery status as status quo. After weeks of speculation, head coach Stephanie White confirmed that nothing has changed in Clark's situation and that until the star rookie is back on the practice floor in front of media and teammates, her timetable remains unknown. Clark has been sidelined since July 15th after suffering a right groin injury in a matchup against the Connecticut Sun. The setback was the latest in a string of injuries that have derailed her second professional season, including a left quadriceps strain and a separate left groin issue earlier in the year. Combined with the most recent ailment, she has been limited to just 13 appearances in the 2025 season, a drastic reduction for a player expected to be the centerpiece of the Fever's offensive system. Reports indicate that her rehab took another complicated turn in early August. During a solo workout in Phoenix on August 7th, Clark sustained a bone bruise to her left ankle. While the team insists that the bruise would not extend her overall recovery timeline, the injury added yet another hurdle in her fight to return to competition. According to sources close to the team, the Fever's medical staff continues to monitor both her groin and her ankle, emphasizing caution to avoid risking long-term damage. Head coach Stephanie White has reiterated that fans and reporters will know more only when Clark returns to team practice. In her words, "Until she can get into practice and until you see her in practice, it's really status quo." That statement has quickly become the focal point of the latest updates, highlighting the frustrating uncertainty surrounding one of the league's most prominent stars. The injuries to Clark have come at a particularly challenging time for the Indiana Fever roster. The backcourt has been devastated by multiple season-ending losses. On the same day Clark bruised her ankle, fellow guard Ari McDonald suffered a fractured foot and Sydney Colson tore her ACL, ruling both out for the remainder of the season. Shortly thereafter, Sophie Cunningham, another reliable contributor, went down with a knee injury that will also keep her sidelined. For a team that had built hopes around depth and youthful energy, the string of injuries has been crushing. Even as the team grapples with the practical implications of Clark's absence, the conversation has extended beyond simple updates. National commentator Skip Bayless recently cast doubt on the seriousness of Clark's groin injury, prompting strong reactions. Sophie Cunningham responded directly to Bayless during her podcast, labeling his commentary "Bull's tea" and reminding audiences of the very real toll that injuries take on athletes both physically and mentally. Her defense of Clark drew widespread support from teammates and fans who felt the criticism was unfair and unfounded. When Clark has been able to suit up this season, her impact has been undeniable. Through 13 appearances, she averaged 16.5 points, 8.8 assists, 5 rebounds, and nearly 2 steals per game. Those numbers underscore just how much the Fever miss her contributions, not only as a scorer, but as a playmaker and leader. Her vision and ability to create for teammates transformed the Fever's offense when she was healthy, and her absence has left a noticeable void. But Clark's influence stretches far beyond the hardwood. The so-called Caitlin Clark effect has been a phenomenon since her college days at Iowa, and it has only grown since she entered the professional ranks. Her games have consistently drawn record-breaking attendance, both at home and on the road. Merchandise sales have skyrocketed, viewership numbers are up across networks, and the Fever have become one of the most talked-about franchises in women's sports. In short, Clark's presence translates directly into financial and cultural impact, a reality that makes her prolonged absence all the more significant not only for her team, but for the league as a whole. The WNBA itself has continued to thrive during her rehabilitation. Despite her absence, league attendance and viewership remain at historic highs, a testament to the momentum Clark helped ignite. Still, fans and analysts alike are eager to see her back in uniform, where she can once again deliver the electric performances that made her a household name. For now, the Fever are in survival mode. Without Clark and several other guards, the team has had to reconfigure lineups and lean heavily on younger players and role contributors. While the results have been mixed, the focus remains on staying competitive long enough to keep playoff hopes alive, with the hope that Clark might return before the end of the regular season. Yet with every passing day that her status remains status quo, that hope dims slightly. Behind the headlines, the Fever coaching staff is balancing two competing priorities: the desire to maximize the current season and the responsibility to protect the long-term health of their franchise cornerstone. Clark's value to the organization cannot be overstated. Rushing her back could risk aggravating injuries that might linger for years, while taking a conservative approach may come at the cost of immediate wins. The Fever have made it clear that the latter is the priority, emphasizing patience and medical clearance over short-term gains. The frustration is not limited to fans. Clark herself is known as one of the most competitive players in the sport, and those close to her describe the rehab process as mentally taxing. Sitting on the sidelines while her team battles without her has been difficult, but she has remained engaged, present at practices and games, offering encouragement and guidance to teammates. Her visible involvement, even in street clothes, underscores her commitment to the franchise and to the game. As the calendar moves toward the final stretch of the regular season, questions persist about whether Clark will see the floor at all before the postseason. Reports from league insiders suggest the Fever are hopeful, but non-committal. The safest bet is that Clark will only return when she is fully cleared for unrestricted basketball activity, not a moment sooner. This uncertainty has fueled endless speculation across sports media, but the only official stance remains the one expressed by Coach White. Until fans and reporters see Clark practicing, everything stays the same: status quo. The story of Caitlin Clark's injury-plagued season is a reminder of the fragility of professional sports. In one moment, a player can electrify crowds and reshape a league's future, and in the next, they can be sidelined by injuries that test their resilience and patience. For Clark, the journey back to the court is not only about healing physically, but also about enduring the mental grind that comes with unmet expectations and constant attention. Whether she returns this season or not, her impact on the game has already been felt in unprecedented ways. The Fever remain committed to her recovery, and the league continues to ride the wave of attention her presence has generated. Fans across the country hold their breath, waiting for the day when she once again steps onto the court and reminds everyone why she became the face of the WNBA so quickly. Until then, the message from the Indiana Fever remains steady and unchanged. Caitlin Clark's prospect of return is status quo.